Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on a journey really into the world of educational technology. Now, if you're a teacher trainee, you know you're stepping into classrooms that are, well, transforming at an incredible pace. And it's completely natural, I think, to feel a mix of excitement about all the possibilities and, let's be honest, maybe a healthy dose of apprehension about the complexities involved.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot to take in. And our deep dive today is really all about trying to understand those significant issues that pop up when technology meets education. We'll be navigating everything from the legal and ethical sort of tightropes to the really profound social impacts on students and teachers, and of course the rapidly expanding, sometimes maybe bewildering world of artificial intelligence.
Right. So our mission is to shed some light on these complexities, explore your responsibilities as future educators, maybe highlight some potential pitfalls, and I think crucially assure you that you are absolutely not alone in facing these things.
Exactly. It's a shared journey.
We're drawing on some really solid research for this conversation, things like emerging issues in smart learning and implementing interactive learning strategies, and also trends and issues in instructional design and technology, just to give you a well-rounded perspective.
Okay, so before we maybe get bogged down in the hurdles, let's talk about the promise first. Because the potential of ed tech, it really is immense.
It really is. The whole vision of smart learning is genuinely transformative. Think about something like the Smart Classroom Scale, the SCS. It was developed by Baoping LI and some colleagues, and this isn't just, a checklist of gadgets. It's more of a framework. It helps measure a truly technology-rich environment.
Yeah, it looks at everything, doesn't it? Like the physical layout, how flexibly tech is used, how you use learning data.
Exactly. And even things like differentiation, cooperation, equity. It's quite holistic.
And what I think is really insightful about that scale, the SCS, is how it emphasizes how thoughtfully technology is integrated. It's not just about how much tech you have crammed in there.
Right. Quantity doesn't equal quality.
Precisely. It shows us that smart learning is really about creating these environments where technology just seamlessly supports personalized learning experiences. I mean, imagine content adapting precisely to your students' individual learning patterns, their preferences, their progress.
That kind of customization. Wow. It was basically impossible in, the traditional setup.
Right. And it can dramatically boost student motivation, engagement, even academic performance. It helps foster that much deeper connection to the material, which hopefully means long-term success.
That deeper connection, it just sounds like a complete game changer for engagement, doesn't it?
It really does.
And we see in the research, too. Studies consistently show that these active learning strategies, which, let's face it, are so often empowered by technology, they lead to improved academic performance and just higher student satisfaction overall.
And they're not just about learning facts, are they? They're vital for developing critical thinking, collaboration.
All those essential life skills students need way beyond the classroom walls.
Absolutely. So yeah, the potential is immense, but bringing that vision to life, that comes with its own set of very real, practical challenges.
And that's where our journey really begins, I suppose. Let's start unpacking the human and social landscape of EdTech. Because often a significant hurdle starts with the educators themselves, maybe even teacher educators.
That's true. Research does point to, inconsistencies in digital skills, and sometimes a lack of confidence in actually applying the technology effectively in teaching.
It's not just about having the tools, is it? It's knowing how to use them well. And that learning curve, it can feel really steep sometimes.
You're spot on. And a core barrier, often cited, is surprisingly fundamental, just time and money.
Ah, yes. The classics.
Right. Creating genuinely innovative, technology-rich activities, it can be far more time-consuming than maybe traditional methods. And even the most enthusiastic educators, they can be deterred if they don't feel they have adequate time to plan, to experiment, to refine these new approaches.
It's a huge investment, not just in hardware, but in people, in preparation time.
It really is.
And that's a crucial point. It's not just like an isolated issue in one school or one district either. There was a fascinating study in Korea, a country we think of as having this amazing IT infrastructure, right?
Very tech savvy.
But even there, they found that schools weren't fully ready for smart learning. And the reasons: lack of time for preparation, inadequate instructional models, skill shortages among teachers.
So the tech was there, but the ecosystem around it wasn't quite ready.
Exactly. And the real takeaway from that Korean experience, I think, is that just having access to the technology isn't enough. You need that shared vision, that collective commitment from everyone, students, teachers, parents, admin, government, the whole community.
Without that shared goal, yeah, even the best tech can just sit there underutilized.
Yeah, languishing is a good word for it.
And what's interesting about that particular research is that it was done, in the early stage for smart learning, which means the age and the degree of experience people had with these tools were, as they put it, unevenly distributed.
Ah, okay. So it highlights that adapting is, well, it's a curve. It's a process for everyone involved.
Exactly. And as future educators, just understanding that you're part of this larger evolving process, that can help manage expectations, maybe foster more of a growth mindset about it all.
That makes sense. Okay, so that covers some of the educator side of things. Now, let's maybe shift focus a bit to student well-being and engagement in this, well, increasingly connected world.
Right, because while tech offers amazing ways to connect, it can also bring new challenges.
Definitely. Like, there is research on university students in Seoul.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
It found that higher smartphone addiction actually correlated with lower self-regulated learning and also reduced flow during study time.
And flow is that state of deep focus, right, where you're completely absorbed.
Exactly, losing track of time. And the study suggested this was often due to constant interruptions from other apps, notifications, you know the drill.
Which points directly to the need for digital literacy, doesn't it? And self-management skills, teaching students not just how to use the tech, but how to manage their attention within that digital environment.
Absolutely critical. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the importance of social emotional learning, SEL, just becomes crystal clear.
Oh, hugely important. SEL helps build that positive, inclusive school climate. It fosters a sense of belonging, enhances relationships, student-teacher, peer-to-peer.
It improves those interpersonal skills needed for collaboration too, right? And can even help prevent negative stuff like bullying.
Exactly. And studies show that when students feel that strong sense of social connectedness and they feel satisfied with their faculty, they're just more likely to stay engaged and less likely to drop out.
We saw this play out so dramatically, didn't we, with the sudden shift to remote learning during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. That period really threw a spotlight on some profound social issues. Social isolation hit the emotional and mental health of both teachers and students really hard.
Yeah, leading to significant learning losses, new mental health challenges. It was a stark reminder, wasn't it, of how directly technology's implementation impacts well-being. It's not just about delivering content, it's about maintaining that human connection.
So true.
Okay, so beyond the immediate human impact, our discussion really wouldn't be complete without digging into the crucial ethical and legal side of EdTech.
Right. The really tricky stuff sometimes.
Yeah. And a core challenge, especially with things like adaptive learning systems that collect tons of student data, is making sure you have robust data governance policies and strong technical support. Protecting student data has to be paramount.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
So what kind of questions should our future educators or listeners be asking here?
Well, fundamental questions like, who actually owns this data? How is it being stored? Who gets access to it? I mean, even when you integrate something seemingly common, like using social media and learning, you've got to think carefully about privacy, intellectual property, data accessibility.
It's easy to overlook those things sometimes.
It is. But the thing is, the benefits can often outweigh the risks, but only if it's managed responsibly, with extreme vigilance, especially when you're collecting really comprehensive educational data, maybe sensitive stuff. You need absolute transparency and clear ethical guidelines to protect identities and prevent misuse.
And then sort of tied into that is the persistent issue of equity and access, the digital divide. It's still a very real thing.
Still a huge challenge, yes.
Yeah.
Not all students have equal access to technology or even just reliable internet. And that gap becomes even more problematic as education shifts more towards digital materials.
So institutions, schools, they must provide adequate resources and support. Otherwise, you risk just making existing inequalities even worse.
Exactly. And it's not enough just to say, here's the resource online. We have to ensure everyone can actually get to it and use it effectively.
Which brings up accessibility in a broader sense too, right?
Precisely. Accessibility goes beyond just having a device or internet. For example, podcasts like this one, they're engaging, sure, but they aren't inherently accessible for learners with hearing impairments.
Good point.
So, as a future educator, You need to be aware of and adhere to standards like the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. It means using thoughtful design strategies, which really points towards inclusive design practices being essential, emphasizing involving diverse individuals on design teams.
Making sure the tools work for everyone.
Right. The core idea is that all learning environments, all tools, all interventions, they have to respect the needs and dignity of every single learner. There's a great quote from the research. Students should help shape rather than simply inhabit learning environments.
Oh, I like that. Giving students agency.
Exactly. Involving them in the design process ensures the solutions actually meet their real needs.
Okay, that idea of agency and responsibility is key. So how do we apply these ethical frameworks to something as cutting edge and maybe, frankly, as mysterious to some as artificial intelligence?
Yeah, AI, that's the big one right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, discussions around AI in education consistently and rightly call for a strong ethical framework, one that prioritizes privacy, fairness, and openness.
And what are the big risks there?
A critical one is addressing bias in automated decision-making. AI systems learn from data, right? So if an AI is trained on biased data, it can end up perpetuating or even amplifying those biases.
Which could lead to inequitable outcomes for students.
Exactly. Think about an AI system that might inadvertently disadvantage certain student groups in how it personalizes learning paths or gives assessment feedback. So ultimately, instructional designers, educators like you bear this profound responsibility to make ethical choices, to promote student well-being, sustainability, social innovation when you're designing with tech, especially AI.
Okay, let's really dive into that AI frontier now, explore some specifics, because despite these serious concerns, AI does bring some truly exciting possibilities.
Oh, absolutely. The potential is staggering in some areas.
Like the idea of automatic generation of valid and equivalent assessment instruments. I mean, for educators, that's a potential game changer, right? Imagine the time save.
Huge time saver. And it allows for more frequent, maybe more targeted evaluation. Plus, AI enables these unparalleled personalized learning trajectories and customized content. It can offer immediate feedback, dynamically adjust to individual learning styles, individual progress.
And that capability is crucial for scaling up instruction, isn't it? Like in those massive online courses, MOOCs.
Exactly. For MOOCs, AI can track engagement, automate some assessments, tailor instruction. It can really help improve participation and learning outcomes when you're dealing with thousands or even tens of thousands of students at once.
And we're seeing real examples of this, like Georgia Tech's Jill Watson.
Yes, the AI teaching assistant.
Right, an AI chatbot designed to answer student questions in a computer science course. It just shows how AI can provide that 247 support for maybe the more administrative or introductory queries.
Freeing up the human instructors for the more complex, nuanced teaching.
Precisely. It's a potential shift in how students get that immediate on-demand support.
And another technology that's rapidly evolving and often linked with AI is immersive virtual reality, IVR.
Right, VR. Putting headset on.
Yeah, IVR gives learners that complete immersion in 3D worlds. It allows for incredibly realistic simulations. Imagine, medical students practicing complex surgeries in a totally risk-free virtual environment.
Or history students actually walking through ancient Rome or something.
Exactly. These kinds of experiences can significantly boost engagement and motivation. They make abstract concepts suddenly feel very tangible.
Okay, but despite all this promise, all these cool examples, implementing these adaptive AI systems, it still faces real challenges.
Definitely. The research points to things like faculty reservations, maybe unfamiliarity, maybe skepticism.
Understandable concerns.
Yeah. And restricted resources. Developing and maintaining these complex systems isn't cheap. And also the need for customized adaptive systems tailored to specific subjects, specific school contexts.
So it's clearly not a simple plug-and-play solution.
Not at all. And then you have the whole issue of the rapid rise of generative artificial intelligence, things like ChatGPT, tools that create content.
That's exploded recently.
It really has. And it presents both, exciting new affordances, but also some serious challenges. There's just a lot of uncertainty around its long-term impact on learning, on assessment, even on academic integrity.
Yeah, how do we deal with that?
Well, I think it comes down to our collective responsibility to learn how to use these AI tools wisely. The goal should be to genuinely address existing educational problems, not just jump on the bandwagon, or worse, inadvertently create new problems.
Using tech thoughtfully, not just for tech's sake.
Exactly. And that applies to other innovations too, like serious games. They can be incredibly effective at boosting interest. There's that Foolish Lady experiment that boosted interest in classic theater, which is fascinating.
Oh, cool.
But even they require this careful balance between the learning outcomes and the play element, and a deep understanding of their unique design needs. The point is, the evolving role of technology demands that instructional designers, educators, you, adapt constantly.
It requires a nuanced understanding of these tools, doesn't it? And probably more collaborative teamwork to integrate them effectively.
Absolutely. It's a continuous learning process for everyone involved. It really is a journey, not some final destination you arrive at.
And, that feels like the perfect note to maybe start wrapping up on implementing technology in education. It is a complex, constantly evolving landscape. And for you, as future educators, understanding these legal, ethical, social, AI-specific issues, it's not meant to overwhelm you.
Not at all. It's about being informed, being empowered.
Right. And remember, you are joining this huge global community of educators who are grappling with these very same questions, exploring new solutions every single day. You're not alone in this.
Absolutely. Your role isn't just to use the technology that's put in front of you. It's to thoughtfully integrate it. Always keeping the well-being and the holistic development of your students right there at the forefront. This deep dive, it's really just the beginning of your journey into responsible, impactful educational technology use.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. As technology continues its incredibly rapid evolution, what new, perhaps unforeseen challenges might emerge down the road? And maybe more importantly, how can we as educators best prepare not just ourselves, but also our students to navigate this ever-changing digital landscape with both critical skill and human wisdom?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is, and it's a question we'll all continue to explore together.